Hello and welcome to the Home Care Millionaire Podcast, the show where compassion meets prosperity. I am Paul Tembande alongside my beautiful wife Joan here. We're honored to be your hosts. Together, Joan and I have built a home care agency from a little over $12,000 credit card loan. Okay, some people called it a gamble at that time. We've built it into an eight-figure business serving thousands of families over the years. And now we're here to share the lessons, strategies, and the mindset shifts that help us get there so that you can too.
We launched this podcast because the home care industry is often misunderstood. Too many people don't see the sacrifices owners and their caregivers make every single day, or the powerful impact agencies have on seniors and their communities. And truthfully, we looked around and realized there were not many podcasts out there shining a light on this industry. So we felt called to create the Home Care Millionaire Podcast.
This podcast is designed for the purpose-driven provider, for those of you who feel called to care, but also want to build a thriving, sustainable business. Each week, we're going to share with you real-life stories, proven strategies, and powerful mindset shifts that will help you move from just surviving to thriving.
Absolutely. Our tagline says it best. Compassion is your calling, wealth is your reward. And here on the Home Care Millionaire Podcast, we're going to show you how to embrace both.
So get ready for inspiration, practical insights, and the encouragement you need to impact lives, build wealth, and create a legacy through your agency. So hit subscribe, folks. Join us on this journey to transform your business, your mindset, and your future. Welcome, folks, to the Home Care Millionaire Podcast. Today, I'm so honored to have Greg and Layla Massberg out of California. They're visiting Angels franchise from California. Join us here today. Layla happens to be away for a little bit, but Greg is there. And so we're so grateful, Greg, that you took the time out to meet with me today and share your experience. I know you've been in this industry serving seniors for over 10 years. And so with compassion, your waving compassion and your excellence in what you do. Joan and I have admired you guys over the years. We learn from you guys every day. We share ideas. And so we just felt it nice to, felt it worthwhile, really, to have you here to share your experience and talk about your story, and then give us nuggets that we can share with our audience out there as to how you were able to build such a successful business over the years, serving so many clients in California. I mean, California happens to be a challenging state to do business in, right? I mean, I think we all know that, especially home care. But you guys have done it. So, Greg, we're so excited to hear your story and the wisdom that you carry. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and just introduce Greg Massberg.
Good morning, Paul. Thank you. I appreciate the time. It's great to connect and love the idea of the podcast. It's really great to be able that you're doing this to be able to reach out and help people understand, where we're at and where we've come and where we're going.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you. Awesome. Well, Greg, I'm going to just let you just roll with it. I mean, what were you doing before you started your home care agency, and what specifically motivated you to get to this industry?
Yeah, I was probably just about as far away from the industry as you could be at that time where I became aware. Really, I was in manufacturing as a purchasing manager and been working with a company for 10 years. And so I was not in the medical realm at all, or even though we're non-medical, still we rub shoulders with the medical community. And so at that time, really, it was just manufacturing. That's it. I did have experience with budgets and finance and, supervision. And so I did have that.
Okay. Wow. So how did you get in? Was it a career change for you? Was it family? How did you find yourself in this industry?
Yeah,
it
was at the time I was actually looking to start a business. I wanted to get out on my own. I was tired of making other people money, and I said, you know what? I want to go do something for myself. So I wasn't looking for home care at the time. I came very close to starting a water filtration business, and about that yeah, right about that same time, unfortunately, but also fortunately, um, my grandmother became ill. And so my
Okay.
grandmother Edna was very close, near and dear to me. We spent a lot of time together.
Okay.
And when she
Okay.
became ill, I saw other family members coming in, just like what happens to us today. And they
Yes.
tried to
Yes.
start helping, and I tried to start helping, and then all of a sudden the light went off, and I said, "Oh my gosh, there's this whole segment of people that I really didn't even know needed help." So that it was
Wow.
my grandmother who pulled me
Wow.
in, and
Wow.
she eventually passed, unfortunately. But when that
Okay.
happened, it really, really pulled something out of me, and I felt like, what, I needed to do something about this. Um,
Mm.
so I
So,
started
yeah.
looking for businesses in
Okay.
senior home care, and sure enough, found Visiting
Okay.
Angels.
Wow. 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 That's awesome. It's amazing because Joan and I have a so not quite, but it's kind of similar story in the sense that we're both in IT
Mm,
years ago, and we'd been there for a while, and we said, well, you know what? I mean, we got raises and all of that, and but we just got
yeah.
tired of we wanted to serve, wanted to. We got tired of there was a lot of month left at the end of the money. Okay, I mean, there wasn't enough
Yeah.
money, Greg. Okay, so from the jobs, and we had just started a family, so it was a bit of a
Yeah.
pain,
Yeah.
and the hours were long, working long hours. So I said, you know what? And
Yes.
we've always been entrepreneurial. We always want to do something, be in control of our own destiny. That was sort of a big thing for us. We wanted to kind of
Nice.
control that piece of, yeah, oh yeah. I mean, we just got tired of the 2 week work, the 2 weeks of vacation wasn't going to cut it for us, right?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
and then we wanted the opportunity to make a difference. I think that, and then we start looking around, and
Yeah.
Joan being the smarter one, I mean, I'll give her that credit. She being the smarter one, honey, she said, honey, you know what, she said, yeah, seriously, she said, honey, I've been doing this CNA work, and I think there may be something to it. I said, oh, really? She go,
Oh.
yeah, because we're looking around. I was in Amway, I was in some other things. I was trying to real estate, right? Do that,
Right.
and so she said, well, I think this home care thing, because she used to be a CNA, right? And
That's
so she said, well,
awesome.
I think this whole thing might be something. I said, okay, let's look into it. And then so we started looking around, went to home instead. She flew to Nebraska, I think it was, checked them
Okay.
out, and then
Yeah.
flew to Philadelphia, met Larry and Jeffrey. Remember
Yeah.
those guys?
Yeah.
And then she said, well, I think this is it. I think this is it. So,
Mm,
and that's how we got
mm,
in. That's how we got in. So we and
yeah.
I said, okay, if you think so, let's do it. So that's how we got in, and
That's
it was
beautiful.
yeah, oh yeah. So, but I tell you what, I gotta tell you, Greg, it was the best decision we ever made. Best,
Absolutely. I would agree
once,
as well.
yeah,
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 I would
yeah,
agree as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, because you get to serve people, you got to make a difference, and you get
Yes.
paid for it. I mean, you're doing
Get paid well.
worthwhile work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you do worthwhile work. You're empowering people, employing people. You get to,
Yeah.
these folks become like family to us. I mean, so
Yes.
but yeah, it's we like I said, we went through the same thing, sort of. But yeah, yeah. Greg? Would you mind walking me through maybe the early days of your business? What was your journey like from starting out to become being so successful as you have been?
Yeah, no, the early days are definitely, we look back to those days and reminisce. Uh,
Yes, yes.
it's always rough starting off a new business, right?
Mhm.
Uh, and if you're doing that and you are relying on immediate income, then that could, put some stress on those early days. So when people are going into business, I think one of the things that they may not be planning far out enough to have enough cash on hand to be successful.
Yes.
So that was something that also my grandmother, in her passing, she did leave me a little bit. And
Wow, good for
so
you.
I took all of that to honor her and
Oh,
started visiting angels.
oh
And
wow,
so
wow.
had quit my job cold turkey.
Wow. Way to go,
and
Greg. Wow.
jumped in. Yeah, I really, actually, really, there was a spiritual element to this as well for me.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
really felt like I was being led in a new direction. So I was very confident that it was going to get done. Okay. But
Wow.
those early days are tough. I remember it was funny. Sometimes when I'm sitting at a local Starbucks and I'm having a coffee there, I say to myself, or if there's somebody with me, there was a day when I was interviewing caregivers here across the
There you go.
table
There you go.
from at the Starbucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
And that was pretty
That
common.
was that was your office, wasn't it, at one
That was
point?
my office. And I'd have a cup of tea for them and a cup of tea for me, and we'd
There you go.
start talking, and and then at that point in time, now you're on the people side of things, and you're
Yes.
getting to know them and asking them why they're here, why do they want
Yes.
to do this, and what's
Yeah.
their story. Everybody has a story that's in this
Of
business,
course.
right?
Yes.
So the earlier days, they are stressful, but I think planning and having enough money to get you through that first
Yeah.
year
Yes.
without changing your lifestyle. If you can
Yes.
do that, then that's going to really be a big part of your success. And then just being willing to flow with things.
Okay. Okay.
We have. Um, I started taking on everything myself to start. Right,
Okay.
that's what you do.
Okay. Yes.
And
Yeah.
um, along the way, I figured out that I was very limited with my time, and my time was really so important.
Yep.
uh, I could only get so much done alone.
Yeah.
And so then I started, deciding, okay, I need some help. who
Yes.
who am I going to hire? What kind of
Yes.
person am I going to hire to help me? And so then, went through that part of it. And then really just, so those are some of the early year things, is identifying that I couldn't do it all, that I had limitations. If I wanted to grow, that I needed help. And
Wow.
so
Wow.
that's what we did. That's what we
Wow.
started doing. Yeah.
Wow, no way to go. In fact, I'm gonna just add to you. We did the same thing, Greg. We did it. Joan and I were, HR manager or person. We didn't know about management then, right? We were just HR, right? We just did it, right? We did the
Yeah.
billing part, we did the collections part, we did the
Yeah.
marketing. I was a marketer, and I mean, we did it all. I mean, like you said, it was one stop. It was just us. I mean, we did whatever had needed done. It was our business. It was our baby. So we just
Yeah.
did it. And I gotta add to what you said about Starbucks. My offices were McDonald's, Wendy's, right? I mean, fast food joints, right? That's where we met caregivers. But we
Yeah.
also love our local library too.
Oh,
You know,
mm-hmm.
that's where Joan interviewed. She met caregivers there, potential caregivers there, interviewed them there, and then took the documents, when I made Xerox copy in the library, and that's what you do. What you gotta do,
Yeah,
right?
it's awesome. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
it.
You
Yeah,
do
you
what,
you lean on your
yeah,
local
yeah.
resources, right?
That's exactly right. So it
Yeah.
was it was humbling. To be honest, it was very humbling.
Yeah.
But I think like you, we felt we were called to serve. And like you
Yes.
said, Greg, I think once you put your heart in the right place, if you get into this industry, this business to serve, I think you're gonna do well. That's
Yeah.
just what I've learned over the years. But if you come in with it's about making money, then the challenges may not seem so easy for you, because you're gonna take them the wrong way, right? But if you come in, I believe, with the fact that, hey, I want to serve. I mean, there's potential for me to get paid here, get paid
Yeah.
well, but I have to
Yes.
serve. If you come with that mindset, I think that it just ends up working out well. And because over the years, like when we started out, because again, we had our regular job still, and Joan asked Jeffrey this question, which I would never forget. She
Mm.
says, "Well, Jeffrey, I mean, we have our good IT jobs. Well, we thought it was good. It was good, Yeah, but listen, it was. I think we're getting paid 70 grand a year or something like that. And Joan was getting that. I was getting about that same, a year. And so we
Yeah.
thought I was. I mean, we had never made
Doing great. Yeah.
exactly. We had never made that kind of money before, Greg.
Yeah.
Right? So Joan was like, Jeffrey, we're gonna quit our jobs to do this. Do you think this is really gonna work out for us? I mean, are we gonna be able to pay our bills? I mean, that's what it came down to, right?
Right.
Jeffrey looked at us and said, Joan and Paul, just do the right thing. If you do the right thing, the money
There
will
you
come.
go. There you go.
Greg, let me tell you, even when I say that to you now, it brings chills to my body. And Jeffrey was so right.
Yeah.
He was so right.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you the payoff of what we've done has been a hundredfold, a millionfold, you might want to say. It's worked out. I'll just say it's worked out very well. We're very
Yes.
grateful for it. But it was because, again, we did the right thing. We got in there just like you and your lovely wife. We got in and we said, well, let's just serve. Let's
Yeah.
just work from our heart. And like you said, starting out, sometimes you have to do all the jobs. Hey,
Yeah. That's
granted,
right.
it's a small company at that point, right? So I don't mind doing it. That's how you
Right.
learn too. Because oftentimes, Greg, and I don't know about your experience, but you're going to certainly share this here. Some folks say, "Well, I want to just hire people and this." That. I said, "No, get in there, learn the ropes from the get go.
That's right.
Start doing all the roles yourself.
Yes.
So when you hire someone, you have to have someone do the work. At least you know what the expectations are.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if you just hire it out to give and you don't know anything, what if they screw it up? How are you
Right.
going to do it? Right.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So yep. That's
I'm of the same mindset. Uh, I had to know everything about
yes.
it.
Yes.
Um, I even had to go out there and, not that I had to, I wanted to, but I still had
Yes.
to
Yes.
get out there and drive a senior to an appointment,
There you go.
help them get in and out of the car.
There you go.
I even found myself, walking into a home and somebody needed some personal care and I just had to jump in there and do it,
That's it. Yeah.
So,
No, no, you're right. I mean, listen, I've staffed cases, okay, just like you have. I've staffed cases, and
yeah,
I did it happily.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
because I'm part of the team, right? I mean, what we teach in our office is that we don't call anyone an employee; we call them team members, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone is a
Yep.
team member, and so you got to step up for the team
Yeah.
because, as I said, there's no I in team, right? It's all of us,
Exactly.
right? So
Exactly.
yes, yes,
It is.
yes, yes,
That is
good
so
deal,
true.
good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, 100%. And I've done that. I go there happily. If they call me, hey, drop off, go be sit with Mr. Jones. Fine, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
sit with him. I
Yeah.
say I'll do it. I mean, you have to step up for the team and support. And like you say, initially, that is what it's gonna take. It's gonna take some humility, right? It's gonna
Yeah.
take some
Yeah.
just being willing to do what it takes to grow the business. To grow your
Yeah.
company. It's,
Yeah. You're gonna
I
have
mean,
to
we
walk
are,
that
it's a
walk.
journey.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree, Greg. I agree. So true. So true. Greg, every business journey has its challenges. What were some of your most significant obstacles you faced in the home care industry, and what did you do to overcome these challenges? If you don't mind sharing.
Absolutely. I mean, well, just first and foremost, the idea to accept that there will always be challenges is really, I think, first and foremost, and you really need to embrace that idea.
Yes.
And so, just from the get go of the mental mindset that you need to have is that there will be challenges. You should expect them and actually try to get ahead of them. And if you can do that, and you can do it day in and day out, then you'll be successful. And what you said about what Larry said is,
Wow.
one
Thank
of
you.
the measurements is just do the right thing. You've got a situation with a team member
Yeah.
and, could be a pay issue. Do the right thing on that. Let that be your guide. Don't let your wallet tell you what to do
Yes.
necessarily. There is wisdom with
Yes.
finance, but when it comes to treating your
Yes.
employees right, just do the right thing. When it comes to with the team members, your
Yes.
administrative team, just do the right thing and treat them well. They are your company and they are visiting angels. And so you need to do everything you can to support them. But in terms of a difficulty in a specific situation, I'll go back to COVID. COVID was
Okay.
scary. That was really scary. One of my initial thoughts at that time when it all came on was, oh my God, all of my clients are going to die because they're elderly and they're,
Yes.
stuck at home. And so
Yes.
that was a real fear for me. Um, but as we kind of kept moving through things, that subsided a little bit. We decided that we needed to go remote, and so
Okay.
that was an answer for us. We shifted gears. Instead of going to people's homes to do the assessments, we shifted into Zoom. and FaceTime. And so we looked to technology to help us get
Okay.
through COVID. And so
Yes.
we did a lot more technology wise, and took our whole
Okay.
office remote. Um, and
Oh
until
wow.
things settled down, and then we came back into the office space again, and that actually worked out quite
Wow.
well. Um, and
Wow.
so then
Wow.
and then also at that time we started looking at more so digital marketing, more so
Uh-huh.
because not being out in the community and not being able to really
Yes.
be out and making visits, we had to shift.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
one of the things that a person's got to be able to do and be willing to do and embrace is shift. You've got to shift
Yes.
with the circumstances. So,
Mhm.
that was one of, I think, our big, scary challenges that we came out of. And actually, even though there was a slight dip in hours and clients, we ultimately came out of that and did so well that we couldn't apply for any of the government programs that were helping
Oh wow.
businesses who
Oh
lost
wow.
business. We actually
Oh
gained
wow.
business.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah, so that was a
Wow.
good success story on that difficulty. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. It's interesting, Greg, you say that because let me just tell you, to be honest with you, full disclosure, COVID almost put us out of business.
Man.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, it almost put us out of business. It was that
Wow.
close. Yeah, oh
Wow.
yeah, it almost put us out of business. I mean, but being people of faith,
Mm.
we prayed a
Mm.
lot,
Yeah.
and God led us. He guided us.
Mm.
Because we started laying office staff off, and
Yeah.
all of that, and, but we're shown away, and so it was both, and then it's interesting because our business grew a lot more the year after, just like you. I mean,
Yeah.
just and then because we started looking at things differently. In fact, one of the things we incorporated, Greg, I'll share this with you also, is that prior to COVID, John and I have been looking at, and especially me, I've been looking at you know uh, um, mindset coaching.
Mm.
I had looking how can I get more control of me. How could I
Mm.
be a better person, right? So I could be a better husband, better provider, better manager, better owner, all of that. And so when COVID came, it was sort of the perfect storm because I was able to apply all those principles that I learned in personal development. This
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
One of them was the fact that it doesn't really happen. It doesn't matter much what happens out there. Is how you respond to what happens.
Yeah.
It's key, because like I said, COVID could have wiped us out. But we looked at it and said, well, what are some lessons learned? What can we do? How can we put ourselves in a better position, going forward? And we did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Good job.
absolutely we did that, and then again we almost lost that business. So that it
Yeah.
was a lot of it really got us thinking, just like you did. And then so you know what? Let's start. How about remote work? You talk about remote work. I mean, we now have some team members that work remotely from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
they do work that way. We had to. You talk about shifting, which is really important because in any business, especially what we do, you have to be willing to shift. You can't take things personally anymore, right? I
Right.
mean, it's a business, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's got to. So when we incorporated the personal development piece into our business, Greg, our business took off. It took off because we showed up differently for our team.
Right. Yeah.
When you show up differently for your team in a better way, they pick it up.
They
And when they
do.
pick it up, guess what? They replicate what you do, right? So it
Yes.
was just a thing, it was a cycle that just kept improving and kept improving. And then we just saw things differently. We're able to set bigger goals. What do we learn in person? So we'll set goals, and then sometimes the goals for the John were like, well, honey, I don't think we can hit that goal. I said, well, let's just go for it. And then we tried, we exceeded it. And that's how this thing just kept happening. So I say, to your point, COVID was both a challenge, and also a blessing for us,
Absolutely.
yeah, because it opened our eyes to what was possible out there, So
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Greg. This is wonderful. I'm not going to take too much. I think you shared quite a bit with us here, so I'm not going to hold you much further. Let me just say this. Let me just say this, Greg. What are some lessons? I mean, we're talking about some. If someone were looking to get into what we do, to serve, because that's why we got into this, to serve seniors, right?
Yeah.
And grow a business out of it, of course. What are some 2 or 3 lessons, nuggets you may want to, just as we close out our time today, that you may want to just, let them know about? Some 2 or 3 nuggets that you say, listen, if this something you're looking to get into, hey, consider this, consider that, that type of thing. What would
Okay.
you share with them, Greg?
Yeah, thank you. That's a great question, Paul.
Thank you.
I think I think it's really just so much as it comes back to your knowing yourself a little bit. Spending some time with yourself in the mirror and asking yourself, why am I doing what am I doing now? Why do I want to do something different? And what do I really want out of that? And I think that if there's time that needs to be spent with each of those questions, and you're searching for your motivation, and what's motivating you away from what you're currently doing. And if that's something that's going to show up again, then you're just running, right? So that's not a good reason to get in business, just to get away from something else. It should be something that you really internally really feel that you want to do, something that's moving you, right? And in my situation, it was a family member
Yep.
who I love dearly. And
Yeah.
so I would say really take time, uh, and if you have a spiritual side of your life, to pray and ask for guidance in that area, and really be willing to hear what's coming through, and actually be honest with yourself. So that's what I would say would probably be one of the bigger things, is be honest with yourself on who you are now, why you want to make the change, and with that new change, what's going to be your role
Yes.
as a leader. How are you going to lead? Because when you're starting a business, you have now assumed the role of leader.
Yes, you're right.
And just like you said, with your people. So one of the things, so that's just the, questioning your motivation for getting into business, and what kind of business. Secondly, I would say once you're getting in there and you're accepting the fact that you are a leader and that you have this role, you need to fully accept
Yep.
and embrace
Yeah.
all of the responsibilities that come with that. And I would say probably the biggest responsibilities is your people, your
Yes.
team.
Yes.
Uh, and For many years, I was just focused on just the process.
Yes.
Even though I had the heart and was loving on
Yes.
people, and
Of course.
it was all working, it was great. But this
Yes.
next thing, which has taken us up a level, is understanding that spending time with your people, and
Yes.
you're looking to nurture them and grow them as individuals that
Yes.
are in both your administrative staff and also your field staff, right?
Yes.
And so we've over the last couple of years adopted a practice where we'll bring in and do a book study as
Okay.
a group, and we
Okay.
pull that into our weekly meeting, and they're typically management supervision, type self-help, type books,
Okay.
that we are having opportunities to reflect on ourselves. It's always going to come back to you as the
Yes.
leader.
Yes.
Everything that happens is always
Yes.
going to come back to you.
Yes.
So that's really it, is this understanding who you are, accepting that, and then realizing that the people around you who are working with you, who are part of Visiting Angels, are more important than you are.
100%.
You got to make
100%.
them more important than you are. So it's very selfless leadership that you'll find yourself in. And then you'll see tremendous benefits. Your
Wow.
staff are looking to you. They're watching you. They're
Wow.
listening to you.
Wow.
And so they can't be better than you if you're not showing them how you can show up and be your best.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Thank you, Greg. That was awesome. I mean, so many takeaways, Greg. So many. Thank you again so much, Greg. So many takeaways. In fact, like you talked about ownership, taking ownership, loving what you do, love on people, serve them from your heart. Because
yeah,
folks can tell, right? They can tell if you just, you're just trying to get them to do something or not.
yeah,
I mean, just
no.
just love, give it out, put it out there. We've found in our experience that Joan and I have found that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yep.
once
Yep.
you care, they feel it, and they go the distance for you, right?
Yeah.
Because they know you care. You're a
Right.
human being just like them. They have challenges just like the rest of us, you know.
Yep.
And if we can't meet them where they need us, they're not gonna be there for long. So thank you so much,
Well,
Greg. This
yeah.
has been, I really appreciate it. And then the other thing I was gonna add also, Greg, is that we're in a growth industry, right? We're in a growth industry,
Absolutely.
Greg. I
Yeah.
mean, we're fortunate, we're blessed. I don't want to say we're fortunate.
Very
I think we're
blessed.
blessed, Greg, because
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
because AI cannot replace, cannot send. You can't send a robot to go take care of a family member. I mean,
Right.
not gonna be able to
Yeah.
afford it, right? So I mean, but we're there. So what we do is so important. I mean, this are going to fill us. They want to talk to us. They want to be around us. We're in an
They
industry,
do.
Greg, that is only going to grow. I was talking to one of my mentors the other day, and he says, Paul, your industry is going to explode in terms of growth. And I said, hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why business for
Let
us,
us
for
help more
folks we can.
people. Yeah.
Exactly, Greg. Exactly.
Yeah, because I
Yes,
know the
yes,
way
yes.
you're helping and serving people is a way that's really meeting people where they're at. So many
Yes,
times
100%.
when I'm in a home with a family and we're walking through everything and even doing paperwork and talking, and we get all done with it and we say, "Woo, okay, we're done. That was a lot, right?" And they're like, but they say, "Yeah, but you know what? I feel so much better. I feel like
Oh,
I understand what the plan is. I feel like you guys are going to be able to come in here and help mom and dad." And that's just
oh,
puts a smile
wow.
on my face.
There you go.
I walk,
There you go. There
walk
you
out the
go.
door knowing
There
that
you go.
now that family we just met, their stress is gone and
There
they're
you go.
confident
There you
in
go.
what we're
That's
going to
it.
do for them. So,
That's it. That's it.
yeah.
That's it. Well, thank you again, Greg. Thank you. Thank you, and Leila, for the
Thank you, Paul.
wonderful job, and your team. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Home Care Millionaire Podcast. We hope you found inspiration, encouragement, and practical tools you can apply right away in your own journey. Our mission is simple, folks, to shine a light on the incredible impact that home care owners and their caregivers make every single day, and to give you the mindset, strategies, and faith-filled wisdom to build both purpose and prosperity.
Because here is what we believe: compassion is your calling, wealth is your reward. If this episode spoke to you, we'd love for you to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you like more resources or have questions for Paul and I, just head over to askjoanandpaul.com. We'll be honored to connect with you there.
Until next time, folks, remember, you have what it takes to build wealth, create freedom, and leave a legacy through your agency. We're here cheering you on every step of the way. Bye for now.